Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have something amazing to take a look at because we've got another brand new Tyrannosaurus Rex model, this time from Declay Studio. I have been promoting a lot of their stuff in a lot of news videos, but this is my very first chance to actually check out one of their models in person and get one up here on the channel for you guys to check out, so you can consider whether you'd like to, buy one and grab one for yourself or not. But as you can see, we've got the Tyrannosaurus Rex. It looks gorgeous. He actually gave me the option to choose one of two different paint schemes for it, and I went with this one because I just thought that the paint scheme looked really nice. And here in hand, I can tell you with confidence, it looks beautiful. They are a very, very talented group, as we have an incredibly highly detailed Tyrannosaurus with an extremely impressive paint job. And you can see this has the Rex kind of walking along. Looks like it's walking along the beach, as we have a horseshoe crab, it looks like, right here, upside down, potentially deceased on the beach, maybe about to become a meal here to our T-Rex. And there is also a juvenile or a younger version of a T-Rex that you can purchase to go with this. You can go with the adult, and that's pretty cool as well. But again, I think it looks great here at first glance, but let's jump to a closer look and really check this out from there. So starting up here at the head sculpt of our Rex, you can see it looks really, really good. He sculpted it out with lips, and we have some gorgeous, gorgeous paintwork here on it. As you can see, there's quite a bit of varying tones of color that you can see here. Some darker tones running along the jawline. Again, at this point, those classic larger T-Rex scales there running along the jawline there of the Rex. You can see the nostrils sculpted out. You can also see the palate looks really nice, and the actual skin detail there within the palate looks really good, very highly detailed for sure. As you move up into the eye socket, you can also see the color darkens there in the eye socket. Looks really nice. You've got, again, a very nicely painted eye with a nice black pupil. The Rex is looking there right at us, looking very intimidating, I'll say. And as you move to the lower jaw, you can also see some more nice looking skin texture and scale detail, but you can also see quite a bit of, subtle differences in color, which also looks nice. The mouth of the Tyrannosaur is open slightly, enough that we can see the teeth and everything there for the inside of the mouth. You can also see the skin there on the inside of the mouth as it opens and stretches the skin a little bit. Extremely nice looking sculpt work there for the inside of the mouth. Very nicely sculpted tongue, very nice paintwork as well. Again, nice gloss coat in there. Everything looks extremely lifelike, extremely realistic. As you move up here, you can see again some more nice looking sculpt work to the fine detail, to the skin texture. You can see the ear sculpted out back here. You can also see, if we lead up here to the top of the head, some nice darker tones up here on the top of the head of the Tyrannosaurus, and really well done as far as the paintwork goes up here, moving along the back of the body. Super very subtle differences in coloration up there, which I really like. Honestly, you really need to get one of these and see it in person to appreciate how good the paintwork is. As you move down, you've got a very nice big bulky neck to your Rex. You can also see like some tensing and almost muscle definition moving down the course of the neck of the Rex. And you have quite a bit of varying tones of browns and stuff, including a darker brown that kind of stripes and designs and patterns through, and then some lighter tones as you move down here to the underside of the neck. Lots of skin wrinkles and stuff there on the underside of the neck. The Rex is actually attached to the base when it arrives, so you don't have the ability to take it off of the base. As you move down further into the body, you've got some more skin creases and stuff. As you lead down closer into the arms and everything right there, that looks really good as well. And as you move up here, you can see more of that kind of darker tone that sort of stripes and designs through, and again just has quite a bit of variation of color. And as you get nice and close, look at how impressive the skin texture is. The very fine detail of this Rex is incredible. And as you move down, you've got some nicely sculpted arms held into the body in a nice naturalistic position. You can see the nails sculpted there, and that as well looks really nice. And I like that there's kind of like a little bit of sand on the hand of the Rex. Almost makes it look like it was just kind of leaning down, or maybe it was sleeping and noticed that this crab had washed ashore, so it just got up to walk over and, I guess get itself a nice bite to eat. And as you move through the course of the Rex, you can see, of course, it has a very big, bulky body to it. I would say it's probably one of the most accurate-looking Tyrannosaurs I've ever seen. You've got the hip bone there protruding from the skin. You can also see the spinal column there running along the back of the Rex, protruding from the skin. Really cool as far as the paintwork goes. As you lead down here into the thighs, you can see those darker tones kind of outline the brown and are like that transition point to the lighter tone of color here running along the back of the thigh. You can see the muscle definition and everything, but it's not overly defined to the point where it looks shrink wrapped. Nice large knee right there. You got a big bulky calf muscle. And as you move down, you can actually see a scar here where the Rex was injured at some point. So that's a really cool little touch. And they actually have a few of those here. Actually, one was right here. I didn't even mention it. We've got another scar right there. So that's pretty cool. And then as you move down here, you can see the foot sculpt. It's got some nice scoots running down the front of the foot. And because the Rex is kind of walking through the sand, you can see the sand is all over the place, all over the foot and everything. And I like that they added that nice little touch there to the foot, again adding in nice realism, something you would definitely see as the Rex is walking along. You would see the earth that it's walking along, kind of, you know, at least bits and pieces of it up there on the foot, and you can really see that they've done a great job of showing that off here on their version of the T-Rex. As you move up here and we lead out into the tail, we start to have kind of like a striping effect leading out here. It becomes a little more subtle as far as the striping, like a little bit softer as you move out. You can see more injuries. I don't know if they're meant to be current injuries or scars, but there are more of them there, a few more. And you can see the detailing looks great, the paintwork looks great. We even have like some pinkish tones here running along the underside of the T-Rex. And there's also a nice curve to the tail as you lead out. Nice, very naturalistic curve to the tail of the T-Rex. And then if we turn it around, you can hear every once in a while some of the sand kind of falling off, or whatever exactly is on the base. You hear little bits and pieces of it falling off once in a while. But you can see another injury here on the face of the T-Rex that it has sustained at some point. Again, look at how gorgeous that paintwork is and the sculpt. That is absolutely incredible. As you continue to move along, again, you're going to see pretty much the same thing, except for the fact that the Rex has its head turned slightly to its left, so there is a little bit of difference as far as the positioning goes. And you can see the body as a whole kind of has a slight turn away from us because the Rex is kind of making that left turning adjustment to its body. But again, look at how big and bulky that Rex is. That is such an impressive looking Tyrannosaurus Rex, and really portraying it as a living animal, not a monster or anything like we often see T-Rex portrayed as. You can see yet another injury here as you move back into the thigh, and look at when you get nice and close how impressive that skin texture is. This is undoubtedly one of the best Tyrannosaur models I've ever seen. And then as you move down into the foot sculpt, yet again covered in sand, you can see more of the earthy area where we're walking along, just kind of overtaking the foot there. And then as you move up again into the tail, we have more of that striping as you lead out again with that nice curve to the tail. And then the base itself, you can see again has that nice sandy area, showing the Rex kind of walking along a beach sort of setting. There are some rocks and stuff here, as you can see, some smaller and larger ones as you move along. Even the sculpting and paintwork of the rocks are extremely well done. And then if I turn it around, we can see that we've got that horseshoe crab again upside down here, covered in a little bit of sand. Obviously it has washed ashore at some point and is now going to be the meal, I think, for our T-Rex, or potentially its baby, because there is a baby again, like I said, you can purchase to include in the scene. You've got a little bit of like a stick or something, or a small log over here, and then a larger log back here. So the base is super nicely done, really nice sculpt, really nice paintwork, lots of realism to the base as well. And then when you turn it over and take a look at the underside, you have a nice underside here, nice black underside, just to help to give it a bit of a nice professional look. But as a whole, this is easily one of my favorite Tyrannosaur models now in my collection. Definitely one of the most accurate as well. This thing is an incredible release on the part of Declay Studio. As far as a size goes, it is meant to be in 1/35th scale, so it should have measurements similar to that. You are looking at about 12 inches in length, so 1 foot, or about 30.5 centimeters. And that, of course, is because we have a turn to the body and everything. The tail's turned, the head's turned, so that's why we have that measurement. And then as far as a height, the highest point would probably be the back here of the tail. You're looking at right around 4.5 inches, or just shy of about 11.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line next to our Declay Studio Tyrannosaurus Rex, and you can definitely see that the Papo Rex and the Declay Studio Rex are in a very similar size, and I believe the Papo Rex I had heard in the past was in like the 1/35th scale range, sort of, so that would make sense as to why they are a pretty similar size. We've also got a Mattel Velociraptor stepping in here for a comparison next to the T-Rex. Obviously, the Rex is quite a bit larger. Then when it comes to a comparison next to other similar-sized Tyrannosaurs, we've got Wilson from PNSO next to the Declay Studio version of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and you can very clearly see they are pretty much right there in the same similar size range. We've also got Cameron the Tyrannosaurus, which is the newest Tyrannosaurus Rex release from PNSO, next to the Declay Studio version, and you can definitely see, again, very, very similar in size, almost kind of similar in the positioning, too, as they're both walking and both have their left leg leaning forward and, you know, right leg trailing in similar fashion, just difference in the positioning of the head sculpt. But very, very cool to see these two together. And then for a final comparison, and not very shocking, the Rebor Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is quite a bit larger than our Declay Studio version, and that's kind of to be expected because very few Tyrannosaur models can really compete with the Rebor Rex when it comes to a size, and obviously the Declay Studio version is a bit smaller than our Rebor version. So this Declay Studio Tyrannosaurus Rex in 1/35th scale model is incredible. Honestly, so much better than I expected it to be. I'm really quite blown away by how good this model looks. Again, the sculpt is incredibly well done. Very up-to-date, very modern as far as the way we perceive Tyrannosaurus. Again, we've got lips and everything, which is something that people are definitely looking at being a part of Tyrannosaurs, and most theropods, again, would be having lips, and we have that here on the Declay Studio version, and a really nice naturalistic pose as well as it's walking along, just leaning down, and again, kind of looks like it's about to lean down and take a bite of that horseshoe crab. You can almost just envision it, like I almost expect to see it move and just lean down and take a bite. It's that well done. And the fine detail looks great through the entire model. Again, by no means does this look like a shrink-wrapped version of a T-Rex. There's just nothing on this that has a cheap feel. It's all extremely high quality and easily one of the nicest Tyrannosaur models that I have in my collection as far as the sculpt goes. And the same can be said for the paint, because the paintwork is gorgeous. They've applied some really nice variations of browns and stuff, and even though a lot of people I think at this point are kind of souring on the brown color schemes on Tyrannosaurs because of how many we've had in the PNSO line, I think this looks great. I think the paint application is really smooth, nice naturalistic transitions, even the striping effects and everything are all really naturally applied, very smoothly applied, and as a whole, the paintwork really complements how good the sculpt is and really helps to highlight how nice the sculpt is. On top of that, we've got a pretty cool base, again, with a nice sandy setting, again, further bringing the scene to life and really putting you into the moment with the T-Rex. You can almost just envision the waves kind of running up there along the shoreline as the Tyrannosaur is just walking along and, again, about to lean down and take a bite to eat from its newfound horseshoe crab. But as a whole, this, again, absolutely amazing. Definitely a massive recommendation from me. They have a Triceratops out currently as well that is probably the nicest Triceratops I've ever seen. So keep that in mind, as well as a Quetzalcoatlus, and I believe they released a mammoth at some point time recently, and they're consistently releasing new models all the time. So definitely check into Declay Studio. I will include a link in the description to where you can check them out on Instagram and place an order for this Tyrannosaurus Rex if you would like to acquire one and add it to your collection. A huge recommendation from me. So if you are interested, check those links. Make sure you grab this, and if you do not have social media, you can contact me and I can help you place an order for one if you would like. And also like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.